So anyway, be sure to come back next week when I make a video rating all of Rosalina's costumes in Mario Kart Tour. Greetings to all who wish to be greeted. I'm MegaPacKid, and this is my game shelf. Well, it's been a week, so it's time for me to make good on my promise. Today, I'm rating all of Rosalina's costumes in Mario Kart Tour. Rosalina was first introduced in Super Mario Galaxy and was then put into Mario Kart Wii. An excellent choice, but I'm still waiting on Tomeo from Super Mario Land. She can be unlocked if you rank highly in all the Mirror Mode and Grand Prix Cups, but if you have Super Mario Galaxy save data on your Wii and have finished at least 50 races, you would unlock her. She has other outfits in other games, but today I'm only looking at Mario Kart Tour. But if you're unfamiliar with Mario Kart Tour, you might wonder why she has so many alternate costumes in a Mario Kart game. The answer to that is very simple. See, Mario Kart Tour is a mobile game, and unlike console and handheld games, which are one flat fee if you don't include DLC, or arcade games, which are done by the quarter, mobile games are almost always free, but include paid content in them. And Mario Kart Tour was no exception. When the game first came out, it was heavily criticized for the amount of loot boxes and microtransactions that absolutely plagued the thing. This was the exact opposite of Super Mario Run, which had 3 free levels and then $10 to pay for the rest of the game. So I really wish Nintendo would have gone to a middle ground, and I think they did with Mario Kart Tour later on. See, there was in-game currency that if you did well enough, you would earn enough in order to buy a character or a cart part or really anything. But back to my main point, Mario Kart Tour was a game that was continuously rotating through content and getting new content, up until October of 2023. Because of this, Mario Kart Tour has the most playable characters of any Mario Kart game. But eventually they ran out of characters that they were brave enough to use, so they decided to put characters in funky outfits, not only to reference previous games, but also for certain events like Halloween and Christmas. Now that we've gotten the appetizers out of the way, it's time for the main course, rating all of Rosalina's costumes in Mario Kart Tour. So we're going from S to D in this tier list. I don't know that we're going to cover all of those letters because I generally like Rosalina's character design already, and that brings us into the first design, Rosalina's default costume. This is her actual character design. This is the way that she looks, and I think that this design is very nice. It's very nice, average design. She's beautiful, graceful, elegant, all the things that a space goddess princess should be, which is why she is going right into A tier. So then we have Cat Rosalina. This is the cat suit from Super Mario 3D World, in which she was a playable character. Now, the transformative power-ups were very good for costumes for Mario Kart Tour, but they didn't do any new power-ups or power-ups that hadn't gotten a proper 3D model, so there was no Frog Mario, for example. But Rosalina was in Super Mario 3D World, and that game had many power-ups for her to do, including the cat suit, and I'll be honest, it's a fine outfit. It's fine. It's not better than the default. I personally am not a fan of the cat suits in general. I also don't know why the characters have different colored fur from the color that's theirs. Like, Rosalina wears teal, and yet she has black fur in her cat suit. The same thing with Mario being mainly associated with red, and yet he has yellow fur. But Luigi, Peach, and Toad all have their corresponding color. That just doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, not a fan of the cat suit in general, so we're gonna put that in B tier. Now, I'm really not a fan of the Tanuki suit. I'm really not a fan. I do not like this. I do not like this design. I think it's bad. See, here's why I really have a problem with it. Mario's looks fine. It's proportional to him. It looks like a suit. I have no idea what this thing is. What's going on with her hips? What is this thing around her hips? I don't get it. So I'm putting that in C tier. Now, here's a design that I actually think is a little better than the default design. Fire Rosalina. This is cool, or hot, I should say. This is just a really, really good design here. Red is definitely Rosalina's color, and her hair is tied back into a ponytail, which is not something that we usually see for Rosalina. In fact, it isn't shown in any of the other costumes. Theoretically, she could have her hair tied back in the Cat and Tanuki suit, but we don't see much of her hair anyway. So, honestly, Fire Rosalina is fire, and that's why we're putting her in high A tier. So now we have Swimwear Rosalina, and I really like this design. I think this is a fun and cute design, and I like the flower in her hair. It really complements the color of her hair because it goes well, but I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just not S tier yet. Like, this is a fine, cute outfit, cute design. This just isn't S tier for me. Right, so we're gonna put this in A tier. It's still above Fire Rosalina, and believe me, I took a while trying to figure out who would be in what position. And I truly think that Swimwear Rosalina is above Fire Rosalina, but not S tier. Now here is an S tier design. Chef Rosalina. This is going straight to the top, baby. Look how cute. She looks so cute. This is such a great design. The white of the chef's outfit goes well with her skin tone, and she's got little props. Most of these other designs don't have props. This is so cute. I love this design so much. Something about it really speaks to me. So then we have this design for Rosalina. Volendam, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This was, I believe this is German. I could be wrong, but I believe this is German in origin. Mario Kart Tour had a lot of tracks, not only returning tracks, but new tracks. A lot of the new tracks were based on real-world locations, including Berlin, Germany, which I imagine this was made for. I really like the Berlin track because it has womps where the wall is, or like where the pieces of the wall are, and so they fall over onto the track, which is a reference to the Berlin Wall being torn down, and I really like that. But anyway, Volendam Rosalina. This is a fine outfit. It's not my favorite, but by no means would I call it bad. You know, it doesn't do anything that I don't like, but it doesn't do anything that I particularly like either, so I'm putting it behind default, right on the B tier. And then there's Halloween Rosalina. And honestly, I should say A tier for Volendam Rosalina. I misspoke. But then there's Halloween Rosalina. Halloween's coming up. And honestly, I don't know about this one. It's sleek. But Rosalina, I feel, doesn't need to have as thin of a dress as this. Rosalina is not a Morticia Addams type of gal. I think she works well with a dress that goes out like a bell, in the way that the chef's outfit does and the fire and default outfit do. So I'm going to put this in upper A tier. I'm going to put it just behind Swimwear Rosalina. I'm not a huge fan. I do get why she's a witch, though. I like that she's a witch. Rosalina has a lot of magical abilities. In fact, she just straight up has a wand. So I think this works really well. And now we get to Rosalina Aurora. This design is referencing the fact that Rosalina is often associated with ice. The Aurora Borealis shows up in the north, and it's... This is a great design. Look at this dress. I want this dress, okay? I do. I unironically wish I had this dress on my body. The ruffles and the gradient of the deep dark blue to the wonderful light teal. This is by far my favorite design for Rosalina. Do I think it's weird that she's associated with ice when space is her domain? A little, but I can somewhat see the connection. Space is cold, and when you get closer to the North and South Pole, which are also very cold, just completely frozen even, you generally aren't going to see a lot of sunlight, so you see the night sky, which just straight up looks like space. So I think it's okay. I think that it's okay that she's associated with ice, if not a little weird that there's no really ice thing for her to latch onto in her original source game. But yeah, that is every costume for Rosalina from Mario Kart Tour rated. This is the official tier list.